Hey everybody, I am not live streaming, but actually recording like a normal person. And I'm out at the property. And what is the property? The property is where I spent the second half of my childhood. First half was in Yale, Michigan in a trailer park. Then we rented to own that single wide with 4 kids and 2 adults in the living room for a few years. And then that home we used as collateral, that trailer, which is still there 30 years later, to get a loan for this property and to start building this house. So today I'm out here because I want to grow garlic. Now that I'm back and there's all this acreage, talked to my stepdad, who lives out here still, about kind of annexing some space here behind the pond to grow some garlic. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna chronicle this process from beginning to end because I can. All right, so this is the space we're gonna be growing garlic in. Now what I'm gonna do today is kind of weed whack around the whole area, mark out an area with some stakes, measure some space so I have an idea of what square footage I'm working with for the garlic. There's some bamboo, some sturdy bamboo poles that he has here in the garage, which I'm going to be using for kind of some of the trusses and framing of the cold frames and little hoop houses we're trying to make. Eventually it'd be really nice to put a large greenhouse around some hoop houses and really kind of ramp up production there. But for right now, I'm just gonna go based off that bamboo. And that garage, you know, I use the term loosely. It's a structure that's been on the property since we got here, that is sinking, is lopsided. And so part of the plan here is that we're actually gonna be tearing down the garage by hand and repurposing a lot of those 2x4s and timber for this project here. So this is pretty much the spot, and I'm gonna, you know, do that really fun editing, time-lapsey thing. Okay, so we're marked out, which means we're looking at roughly 28 by 40 feet. The bamboo is 10-foot lengths and some 9-foot lengths. Pay no attention to the guy stepping and stuff over here. So now I'm just gonna weed whack. Back to that time lapse. As often happens with power tools, now it's just spinning its wheel, but we got most of it done. So I'm gonna go through some clippers here, finish it off. And we're back indoors, just like that. So that was pretty much the area and space that I went out to today and cleared. Now I'm home, showered and fed, and wrapping up some video editing from this and adding this in the very end. So what is so revolutionary about garlic? Well, it's not garlic that's revolutionary, but barter. Barter's gonna be a big part of what we're calling another revolution. Barter is the preferred means for economic transfer. You have this, I have that, that's a direct need, I have a direct need, we come to some equitable, exchange, and it's happened. And there's no federal involvement, there's no, technically you gotta claim taxes on big barters in the way as taxable income. That's the way our society is set up. But when it comes to, here's some garlic, do you have tomatoes? Friends do that for each other all the time, and that's ideal. And anytime we can get our basic human needs met by barter, we're winning. Which brings me to another arm of what First Church of Music is planning on doing in this community. First of all, we're trying to bring, as I've said before, lots of money, attention, revenue, etc. to the community through the longest concert in history effort. Forthcoming, we're making our way through this COVID crisis and planning accordingly, perhaps shifting our timeline, but we're still building the product to present to everybody. 840 hours of live music 24/7. So we're still planning on doing that, and that's how we bring in outside revenue to this community. But then it's really important that we simultaneously lower the cost of living for people in this area. And to that end, we've started something called Blue Water Barter. Okay, so if you go on Facebook and you look up Blue Water Barter, you'll be able to join the group and literally just post, I got shower curtain rods, what do you got? And I think that people will be more inclined to say, you know what, I got this thing, I got this weird dresser I need to get rid of, but I do need shower curtain rods, and just have these exchanges happen more fluid and more as like the sought after way to do things. There are really two fundamental perspectives when it comes to making a deal. One is that if I didn't screw over the other person, I got screwed over. And then there's the other perspective of perhaps the two of us can come together for some kind of arrangement that's actually better than we intended. Some third option that's a collaboration of our two goals. So obviously, I prefer the second, the latter. That we work towards finding a form of economic exchange that there's more created from the sum than just the parts. So, Blue Water Barter is going to be a big arm of what First Church of Music is doing. We're going to be having that out like yard sale style on a regular basis. People coming in and trading goods. I have that space. That means I can store things. Maybe I get some stuff for free that I see could have value for the community. And I encourage all of you to start looking at your possessions in the Port Huron area as your assets and as fluid and as your estate and your empire. And maybe you can upgrade and trade some stuff up. I'm sure we've all heard some stories about how people trade up from a paperclip to a house. That kind of stuff does happen, but this is going to be more about just finding that, equity in the community with that stuff. So, Blue Water Barter and revolutionary garlic. That's the idea. I want to grow big bulb, gourmet, elephant-style garlics. And I've looked around the community. I don't think anybody's doing it in the way that I want to do it, and the way that I've seen it done before, and then some, in places like the West Coast. So I want to bring some of that here, and we've already got some people talking about potatoes. They want to focus on that, and tomatoes. Everybody should grow a little bit of their own needs, right? Your cilantros, your whatevers, your microgreens, your beans, your carrots. We should all be growing these things for ourselves at least a little bit. But if you find you have space and a want to focus on one particular thing to grow for trade, beginning about a year from now, I'm going to have some really great garlic. I'm gonna be looking forward to trading that. So maybe you can put something in the ground too. All right, so this has been episode